Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and believe it or not, this is a very happy day for many of us because we fully intend and expect that at the end of these presentations, this matter will be settled. And we're very hopeful that this body is able to go home and have it settled for them tonight. We don't want it to go any longer. It has been a long, long road. And so it's a very happy day. I may jump up and start singing that old gospel tune at the end of this. Well, anyway, thank you for the privilege of letting me introduce, and my role here is just to provide a framework for what we're going to do in our presentation and then get out of the way and let the professionals, who we have many who have supported us, talk. I see this. I did want to provide a little bit of context for what's going on because it's been pretty vigorous in the media here in the last week or so, and emails and so on. So I see this as certainly we've got a clash. The clash is ostensibly between a couple of sides of the task force, the MPC staff that has represented us in this process. We have a position. We were charged with a task. We were supposed to study this and come back with recommendations. That's what we've done. And we presented this plan, and it's a thorough document, and it represents the work of this task force well. The clash is with with a side that I think I generally would characterize them, and I'm not trying to be harsh in any way, but the development, sort of classical development interests in this county, and sort of the old guard development interests in this county, and they have they've been in place for quite a while. I think it also is a clash somewhat between, regrettably, between a reasoned approach to planning and emotion. And there's absolutely reason for emotion in a climate like we experience today. I mean, these people that are in the development community, in the building trades, Home Builders Association, this is their livelihood. They are experiencing distress in ways that I'm not aware of in my own personal experience, but I know how distressing it is. This is an emotional time. It's an emotional subject. And certainly we know that, and it is certainly our intent to be sensitive to these issues. Now, in the end, this is a development plan. What I hope the body will see, that it's about development. It's about these hillsides and ridge tops being developed. That's the strange thing about it. The irony is that there's a development interest that's against a plan that's for a type of development. It's just a type of development that's different. There is some more structure that's required. It is not radically different from what already exists. And you will see that. And in fact, we're on the verge of adopting the East Knox County Sector Plan, which is a mirror image of what's in this plan. We've adopted the Parks and Greenways Plan. They have exactly the same provisions for hillside protection as in this plan. So now the presentation itself, which I just want to outline briefly. First, we want to talk about this development plan and its incentives, the incentives. We want to emphasize how we are trying to accommodate development. The next part of the presentation will be about this issue of notification. Now, notification is where the property rights issue, property rights, we're all very aware and interested in everybody's property rights. And this is where the poison has been poured. And this is sort of a hinge point in the argument. I think when we finish with this part of the presentation, you'll be aware that this is much more complex than what the opposition would lead us to believe. It's not a $15,000 issue. It's hundreds of thousands of dollars that we are going to be involved in if we go down this path. Now, we'll make the contention. What we have done and what we are doing is standard operating procedure. This is what we do. This is how we've done it. Okay? If we want to do something else, we will make the contention that this will be grossly, physically irresponsible on our part to make this deviation from standard procedure at this time for this plan. Now, the Chamber has brought up some good points. We're going to address taxes. I hope you'll pay particular attention to the people who have officially endorsed this plan. 21 members who've worked for 3 years on this plan. They put their names on it. They voted yes. Pay attention to the names. They're in the slides. Pay attention to the MPC commissioners and their businesses, their CEOs, the development interests that are on the MPC who has studied the plan thoroughly. They have said yes. That's 33 people. 21, 11, 32 people. Notice who they are. Notice the businesses, and the development interests they represent. We have said this is broadly supported by business and development, and I think you'll see that's true. Okay, now I'm done. I want to yield to Mr. Jarrett for some recurring issues that we'd like to dispose of before the presentation. I do want to acknowledge my co-chair, Joe Hultquist, who's here accompanying the presenters, Mike Carberry, Liz Albertson, Tim Kuhn, Mike Reynolds, and they're here in the audience. So I yield to Mr. Jarrett.